So we'll start with chapter 8, congruency, from this body whispering book today. And this is call number 5. Welcome to more of being in communion with our bodies. Now, this part of the book, we are in part 3 of the book, and part 3 is more from the perspective of people who are practitioners. They are practicing any healing modality and they are serving their clients. Clients could be even your family members. So means it's not necessary कि आपके कोई paid clients ही हो, but then if you are actually giving sessions to people, paid or otherwise. Dane says, how many times have you had this experience or something closely related to it? You see an acquaintance, not someone you know intimately, perhaps a co-worker. After a big occasion like Christmas or New Year, or in our case, Diwali or any other festival, or when they have come back after a vacation to somewhere amazing like Hawaii, and you ask them what kind of a time they had. They say, oh, it was wonderful. Only you are not sure that is the truth. Their words are saying one thing while their energy is telling you a different story. The same is the case when you ask people, how are you doing? And they say that, oh, I'm doing good, great. But then you can sense the energy that something is going on in their universe, which is making them like worried or fearful, or something is not right with them. Okay. So how many times like people are saying something else, but they are not congruent with the like energies that they are having. Their energies are not congruent with what they are saying. And same is the case when people come to you for a session and they say that they want something to be changed. I want this out of the session, but they are not congruent with receiving that, or the issue that they say that this is the issue that is going on. It's a they might say that it's a relationship issue. They are not going along well with their parents or spouse or something, but actually you get to know that it is something else. And however hard you work with them, आप कितने भी क्लियरिंग्स करते रहो, उनकी कितने भी सेशंस देते रहेंगे वो हीलिंग के, but still they would not get good results. There would be a slight change, but then you also know that there is something much bigger possible, but it cannot be brought about with that person. And then many a times we make ourselves wrong, or we make the modality wrong, that it doesn't work, access doesn't work, or something else, whatever you are practicing, it's not working. But actually we never ask that whatever they are saying, is it actually congruent with their energies or not? Is their ask congruent or not? So if we can only ask more questions over there and open up a different possibilities where the person who is receiving the session can also get present that there is something else that needs to be addressed before they can actually get what they are asking for. How frequently what we say with words isn't a match with for what we are saying with our energy. So often these two ways of communicating just aren't congruent. When it comes to working as a body whisperer, you will find that very often people will come to you and verbally tell you why they have booked to see you and what they would like you to change for them, while energetically they are saying something else. What makes it a little trickier is that our clients don't always know What they are saying isn't what they are asking for really. They are not purposefully misleading us or covering anything up. They just haven't got clarity yet on why they have really come to us. On the surface, it can appear that they have, and they might be there in front of us saying, I would like you to ease my shoulder pain, or I need help with my confidence, or I really want to build a better relationship with my mom. And because you think that is the information you need, you see this as your green light and you get to work on those issues. And then after the session, you have this nagging sense that you didn't do all you could have done for this person, and you know why they have that sense too. Although they leave feeling somewhat happy, somewhat lighter, deep down, you know you facilitated about 50% of the change you could create for that person. So, actually, if people are actually congruent, if what they are verbally saying is energetically congruent with what they are asking for, then even like one session is sufficient for bringing about a total massive change in people's worlds. Mostly, if they are not getting there, it's because there is a mismatch of congruency. So, as a body whisperer, as a practitioner, as a facilitator, our job is to ask questions, is to ask more questions over there and open the door for those possibilities where people can actually like get present. They get clarity of what they are looking for. And it may take a little time. But then, if you leave people with questions, they would eventually get there. Without the awareness that your client wasn't congruent with their ask, you go into the wrongness of you. When the truth is, you just weren't able to treat their true ailment or meet their real request because they hadn't recognized it themselves yet. A lot of people are out of tune with what they require because they have spent a lifetime building their desires around other people's desires and buying others realities as their own. So mostly people are not even present to what they truly want, because what they feel that whatever are other people's desires and expectations of them, that is what they need from their life. They have, like, over the course of years, how many of us we have even forgotten that what we would actually like to have in our lives. We are actually just living the expectations of our parents, our family members, our friends, our society. So everything that does not allow you to connect with your deepest, truest desires, will you please now destroy and create it all times a Godzilla? Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, all nine shorts, voice for bats and beyonds. So if you are clear with your desires, then the getting there, receiving it is no big deal. The bigger problem is actually having clarity on what we truly desire. Understand that the universe has an impeccable sense of timing. Consciousness has an impeccable sense of timing. This person is on your table at a particular day and a particular time, paying the fee you ask for and choosing to see you and no one else. There is somewhere you can take them, something you can offer that no one else can. And that journey begins when you get them congruent with what they are asking of you. Bear in mind that you may well be the first person to do this with them, And if you did nothing more than get them clear on what they are really asking for, that would be such a gift. Because once they can see it or perceive it or know it, they can start to change their current situation and create something else. And that's why they are seeing you, because you have the capacity to see them. So, some person coming to you for a session, choosing you as as their healer, in itself is an indication that there is something with you, of you, which you can facilitate for them, bringing them clarity and congruency with their ask. So just be with them. Don't go into wrongness of you. Don't feel that you are not good enough. Just trust the universe, the timing, as we can trust the timing today, whatever happened. We started 35 minutes late, and what is right about this, we are not getting. so so what is it that you can bring forward for them which no one else can? Only with your questions, with your presence, and with your energies. So be confident, trust yourself, and be with them. Be with the energies, asking questions and facilitating change. So some of you might have been might have attended like Adelaide has been attending my sessions for quite some long. And earlier I used to do a lot of group SOP sessions where people would just mm, I waited for you, Sal. Probably you created this that till I'm ready to get on the call, I'm not letting this happen. What a potent creator you are.
Nothing of the sort. I was just kidding.
Of
I
course
was
you
like,
are. What would
I'm
you
like,
take
I'm
for
like,
you to acknowledge it? What will it take for you to acknowledge it? Sal?
oh my God, that was funny.
So I've cancelled the events. I've got the events cancelled energetically because I was not ready.
God.
So we all do that. Only if we could recognize our capacities with this thing. So some of you definitely got the call delayed. I know, I'm sure of that. Now, I used to do these SOP sessions, group SOP sessions, where people would put their ask and I'll do the session, SOP session, and some would get the results. Others would say that nothing changed or partially changed. And then gradually I got present to the fact that actually what people were writing that down in their asks, they were not actually, people are mostly not congruent with their asks, what they want to receive out of the session. And then I made it a practice that with all my one-on-one sessions, I spend most of the time, if it is a 90-minute session, I'm for 60 minutes I'm talking to people, clearing their points of views and getting them to frame their asks. So those of you who have taken one-on-one session with me, probably Sal has. So she knows that I spend more time having them clarity on what they truly want out of the session. And then last 20 to 30 minutes, we just work on the opening up the doors of possibilities to getting there. So
Yes.
if you get your asks right, then it takes like a few seconds, click of a second many a times, to just open up those possibilities to receiving it. The clarity is more important, and congruency. Did someone have any question? I could hear someone talking.
I think Pinky said, how do we frame our
I
asks?
have here a question. So, I'm still want some clarity whether we frame our ask or we have an energetic awareness because
We
um,
have an energetic awareness. Many times we may not be able to put it in words.
so how do we frame our ask? I'm
We'll get to we'll
Little
get
now
there.
not
Let
having
me just by asking questions, or you just energetically ask. Don't get glued to the words. And questions, being in question is what. And they as we read forward in this chapter, they have given some very good questions also. Like one of them is what else, what else, what else. You keep asking, what else do I desire, what else am I looking for, what is underneath this. If I'm asking for this, if my shoulder pain gets, like say you have a shoulder pain, if my shoulder gets pain gets healed, what is it that I want to do, what is it I would like to accomplish, what would I be able to do. So when you are in question, there is something else that keeps opening up for you. One of the greatest causes of suffering on the planet right now is so many people are not truly seen. Being willing to explore someone's world means getting into their world, being with them, being present enough to say, hey, you know what? I know, you know, something else is possible. I know something else is possible. Let's do what we can to create it together. How is this feeling to you? Is there a chance that a lack of client congruency has gotten in the way of what you can really do and create for someone? And if it has, have you ever misinterpreted that as a failing on your part? Everything you have done to make you wrong based on that sticking point, based on not actually getting a client congruent with what they are asking for before you went to deliver it, will you destroy and uncreate a taste? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, all nine shorts, boys, bats, and beyonds. Now, Dr. Dane here gives an example. Well, this person has told me she would live like a better relationship with her mom. And I have used every tool in my kit to help with that. And I know these tools have created change for hundreds of other people. So why isn't it changing for her? I started looking at what do I need to do. So as a practitioner, as a creator of change, what would you ask? What do I need to do here? What do I need to be? And what do I need to change in order to give this client and all of my clients not only what they are asking for, but so much more? That's when I got the awareness that there are two things to consider when a client tells me what they would like from our time together. Are they willing to have what they are asking for? And is it the time for them to have what they are asking for? So many a times they are asking for something too big for which they themselves are not yet ready. So there is much more shift that is required in their reality before they can get there. I came to realize that whenever the content of a person's words doesn't match the energy I am perceiving as they spoke those words, the answer to both of those questions would be no. They are either unwilling to have what they are asking for, or it isn't time for them to have what they think they are asking for. So you have to be willing to perceive the energy. When people speak, don't just trust their words. That doesn't mean that they are lying. They themselves don't know. So you have to be willing to read the energy, to sense whether they are Are they truly asking for what they are saying, or is it truly now the time for them to receive what they are asking for? Also, what people think they are asking for may not be what they are truly requesting. With this new awareness, I could see that even if my client wanted a better relationship with her mom in the long term, it wasn't what I was there to do with her in that moment. There and then, there were other wants and requirements to deal with first. This one simple change in my awareness meant that I could assist this client with why she was actually there, which led to her sensing that something had dynamically changed for her, even if it wasn't what she said she desired. So at this point, one client incident popped up in my mind where a lady had approached me who said that with a severe, I think, yeah, it was shoulder pain. It was like that she had severe shoulder pain. She came for a bath session. And I gave her a bath session. I did clearings for her, some body process also on her shoulder. And after 2 3 days, when I checked with her, how her shoulder pain was. She said that कुछ काम नहीं किया, हुआ नहीं. The shoulder pain is as it is before. So I was like, I had perceived a energetic shift when she had left me after the session. So I kept on asking her that, do you think anything else has changed? How has it been like the last 2 days for you? And then she said, you know what? I love doing Garba, and this Garba practice has recently started. Like for the last few years, I went for I used to go for the Garba practice, but I had so much of heel pain that I could never dance. And like for from the last 2 days, I'm going for this Garba practice, and I don't have even the slightest of heel pain. So she couldn't recognize, she was not aware that she couldn't give credit to that bath session that her heel pain had gone away. Probably it was time for her just to get over her heel pain at that moment of time. She was not ready to let go of her shoulder pain yet. So she could dance, but then still she had invalidated that nothing had changed for her through that bar session. She never came back to me for a session, but then at least I got out of that wrongness that the bar session did not make any difference to her. It was something that she was not willing to acknowledge. So, what are you not willing to acknowledge? All the magnificent changes that you have created for your own life, with all that you have done, and what all changes that you have brought about for your family members, for your friends, for your clients, and everything that brought up, will you please now destroy and created all types of God sailing, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. Now, this $1,000,000 question that Pinky asked: how do you know if and when a client is congruent with their ask, or if you are congruent with with your own ask? How do you know? You ask, but that's half of the picture. The key is in the perceiving. Let's take a closer look at that. Ask and then perceive. To find what a person is willing to have from you in your session, you ask them and then you perceive the energy. Then you might need to ask again and perceive again and again. And the same Pinky goes with yourself. You ask yourself questions and perceive and again ask and again perceive. While asking is the way in, Perceiving the energy that is conjured from the ask is how you get to know whether what a person is saying is what they actually want and are ready for. I understand this might sound a little intangible, especially if you are new to working with energy. So, I'm going to get more specific soon and give you a few examples of how this works for me. First, let me try to put it into words what it's like when a client's words do match the energy. There is a clicking into place. So, when what they are asking for and what actually is energetically going on, when there is a congruency, there is an aha moment. Imagine two musical notes being played that are off key. They just do not go together and don't harmonize. बेसुरा सबको समझ में आता है, सुनाई दे जाता है. When you say when someone is playing a musical key note on the harmonium or on the keyboard, and another person who is singing, when they are off the note, you just know that the note that the person is singing and what is being played on the keyboard, they are not harmonized. They are not in tune. बेसुरा है, right? Everyone understands that? सुरीला और बेसुरा हम सबको समझ में आता है. So when वो जब बेसुरा होगा, that means they are not congruent. They are off key and total discord. They jar. And then when two notes are played that complement each other, they create something else entirely and it makes sense. It feels right. It's harmonious. Similar with when, if you are aware of these keynotes, when they play the chords. So when the chords are being played in harmony, it's a different sense that you get. So the same is with energy. When you perceive the energy with what they are saying and what is energetically going into their world, and what they are speaking, when it is congruent, you just get to know. You sense that harmony, that symphony. That is congruency. And that's how it is when the energy matches the ask. For me, the energy I'm perceiving expands. There is a lightness, and I get the sense that I can dive in and start working now. So there are people, like when I do one-on-one sessions, and as I mentioned that now I have made it a point that I spend more time asking questions and making them clear on their ask. Another thing that I have found is, like with some people who are congruent with their ask, it's the session is just flowing. They are willing to let the practitioner in. They are being vulnerable, their barriers are down, and I can actually get into their world and change something over there. And I have found people like who have been like with one session, their world has changed. And there are others, it seems as if I'm banging my head against a wall. So that is what it like. As you do more and more sessions, you will get to know. Pinky, you will get to know. So, but then you have to just trust that you are not wrong. What you are doing is not wrong. The other person, like probably they need more time. They are not actually congruent yet. They are not ready to receive the change that they are asking for. So further on, Dr. Dane says, to get that harmony, that congruency as close to the start of your session as possible, I recommend you start by asking your clients an open question. Yeah, so don't ask them a question which has an answer as yes or no. Ask an open-ended question where they can speak more. Okay. In other words, one that allows more than a simple yes or no answer. Even if you saw your client last week and helped ease their lower back pain. If you start with, so are we working on the lower back pain again? You are actually starting with a closed question. So people like Seema, who do like professionally do work with clients session. So don't like this is a very good indicator that how to ask people questions. So if you have worked on a particular issue in the last session, don't like just jump on to asking that do you continue to work on that. Ask them how are they doing today? What's going on today with them? What they really require and or want from you in this session might be totally different to what they required in the last session. Open questions such as, what are we working on today? Or even just, how are you doing? Give your client a chance to open up and share more with you right at the start of your time together. What comes out of their mouth still might not be congruent with why they are there with you. But in starting with a dialogue, you are in a place where you can start to navigate towards why they are here. Personally, I use, if you could have anything out of this, what would it be? So if you are doing a session, if you ask them, if you can get anything out of this session today, what would it be? It's a great question to ask. No past reference point. Last time क्या किया था? पिछली बार का दर्द कैसा था? That is like more of a like when as doctors ask questions when you visit them. You don't work with your clients that way. Gary begins with a simple, so what's up? Which is a great way to get a person talking about what's going on in their life. And this leads him to an awareness of what they might like. Phrase your question in whatever way works for you. Play around and see what you get. Your job is to ask and perceive and see their world start opening up as you guide them to what might be possible. In practice, ask and perceive. Okay, so then Dane continues with that same example of that client who had said that she has a relationship problem with her mom that she wanted to get resolved in a session. So the set of questions that Dane asked to that lady, he has shared that. At the start of our time together, I asked, if you could have anything out of this, what would it be? And she says, I want a better relationship with my mom. Now, while verbally she's saying that, energetically I'm getting very little. I'm perceiving the energy and nothing is expanding. Nothing is light and there is very little movement. This is my clue that this isn't why she's seeing me on this particular day. While a better relationship with her mom might be something she desires, it's not what I'm here to work on with her today. Either she's not willing to have that improved relationship yet, or it's not time for her to have it yet. I ask, what else? So, what else would you like to have? So I always tell my clients when they come for my SOP sessions that there is not a single thing that you can get. We can work on multiple areas of your life. So what else would you like to have? What else would you like to create? Okay, so this is one thing. What else? Ask them, what else? And she says, well, I would like to change my money situation. And again, the energy I'm perceiving is still restricted. The space is small. I ask, what else? And this time it's like a key turns in the door. And she says, you know what? What I would really like to be is free. I want to be free of all needs and all limitations. And the idea that getting the approval of someone else is going to make my life work. I would like to know I can do it myself. So the actually what she was asking for, freedom to make her own decisions. But then she's coming up with all those asks that she wants to have a better relationship and better finances and all those things. Suddenly, the energy goes from a grain of sand to a whole cosmos, and boom, I know I'm hitting something that I can actually facilitate. We have struck gold, and now there is something I uniquely can give to her, and that is when the session starts and I do my thing. My work is energetic, yours might not be. So usually Dane does this ESB sessions. So energetic sessions that Dane does. And there are like people do different kinds of modalities. Some might be giving a Reiki session, or you might be giving a bath session or body process session or something else. You might be giving a pranic healing session, anything. Yeah. So it could be something else. But if you begin with the act of asking questions to get your clients to a place where they are willing to uncover why they are here with you, you are creating an immediate change in their reality by opening them up to what is truly possible before you even start working on them. Your universe interacts with theirs, and a change occurs that will probably surprise you and blow your mind as well as theirs. Be mindful that most people come to you to create a change based on the most limited version of what they think they can have. So people are not even aware that they can ask for huge things, or they can ask for. So this particular client who had approached Dane, she couldn't even perceive that she can ask for freedom. Yeah, so that was not even present in her world till the time when he asked her questions and she could get present. Oh, I can be on my own, I can make my own decisions. That was not even a part of her world which he could open up for her. They don't realize that they are living in a limited world when they could live in an infinite world, and you get to guide them there. You pop the bubble on the reduced reality they have bought. I find this concept so inspiring because reaching congruency really is as easy as being present with your clients, asking what they would like, perceiving that, and then asking, what else? You will start creating so much more for the people you work on, and that makes your job so much more fulfilling. From that expanded and fulfilled place, you might ask, what else is possible in my sessions? How much more fun can I have? How much more change can I create? And how much lighter and easier can it be for me and everybody who comes to me? So that brings us to the end of this chapter on congruency. Any questions from anyone? So it's a 9:15. So because we started off late, so I'm good to be here for another say half an hour if all of you are comfortable with that, with one more chapter. I had actually planned two chapters for today. Chapter 9 also I had planned that we'll cover. It
Hi,
is in the
Nigambi.
question, but then as I said, something happened with the time thing. So how are you all guys placed?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Yep. What about
Yep.
others? Sachin, Seema, Pankaj Tiwari is now joining. Great.
I'm
So
just
Pankaj ji has
sorry.
joined for the chapter 9 being in the question. Yeah. Seema, are you good to stay for another
मैम
half?
आपके HNR की डीले ने मैंने डिनर कर लिया था इसलिए आई एम गुड
Yeah. Even I had my dinner. Let me have my water bottle and then I'll continue. Give me 2 minutes to get my water bottle. Great. So let's start with chapter 9 of Body Whispering book. It's the name of the chapter is Being in the Question. So with congruency, we saw that to get uh, your client congruent with what they are asking from the session, you ask them questions, and one of the greatest questions to ask is to start with an open-ended question and keep asking them what else, what else, what else, what else, so that they can pour their heart out. They can keep telling what is going on in their world, and then you will get to a point where you can catch them with that energy that is actually congruent with what they are asking for. And when you change that, when you enter that space, you can create magic for them. Yeah. Now, being in the question. The act of asking a question is such a simple, beautiful gateway to change. From asking questions, we are able to perceive energy, as we just explored in the previous chapter, and we are able to open the door to letting more chaos, continuous, glorious, healing, change making chaos into our lives. So, in one of the previous chapters, we had read that chaos is not the same as havoc. Havoc is where everything is going haywire, it's disorganized, people like it's things are falling apart, you don't know where you are going. And chaos is that generative creative energy where things are flowing, they can change while still it is all being organized. So it is an organized, systematic change that you are introducing into their universe. Now we are going to look at how much more effective we can be when we be the question. So when you be the question, actually you are instilling chaos in their world. One of the fundamental things you can have in your awareness as a healer is to continuously stay in the question, and not just when you are working on someone, but in every moment of your life. Who just called?
You just called me out on what my room is always like.
What if it is like still you know where everything is kept, and so it's not still a chaos, not a havoc, it's a chaos. So
Sometimes
my almirahs, my drawers, everything is a chaos. But still I know where my earrings are kept. Which pair of earring is kept where? I would just go and pick it up. So, so is it truly a havoc, or is that a judgment that you have of yourself? And whose judgment
it
is
is a judgment for
that you are
sure.
buying? Whose point of view have you bought it?
I don't know whose point of view it is, but yeah, it is a judgment. And secondly,
It's a judgment.
I get too many projects going on at the same time, so I need a lot of stuff to go along with everything. So I have a closet just for the extra stuff that I have. So more keeps
Yeah,
coming,
still
coming.
you know where the things are, where to look for them. Yeah,
Yes,
it's not
that
havoc,
it is.
chaos. So here's the thing: asking a question or being in the question or simply being the question is itself is one of the quickest routes we can take towards change for ourselves and for the people we work with. A question allows us to get to the heart or the crux of any situation in a flash. Question breaks down walls, let light and space in, they let chaos in, and they allow us to see what's keeping us stuck. From there, we can undo and uncreate anything that is limiting us. And we can also access the possibilities for change to make our lives infinitely greater. So, a question, an open ended question, is truly the doorway to that possibilities. Being in the question is a key element of consciousness, and consciousness is all about choice. What else presents you with choice more than a question? Questions are empowering, while answers are disempowering. So that this comes hard at first. It's not easy to digest. Questions are empowering, while answers are disempowering. Answers are conclusive, like a full stop, a period, a closed door. The issue is that answers are sought after the world over. And the tricky thing is that usually answers are exactly what our clients want from us. So when a client, you tell me what's wrong with me, you tell me what is the problem in my body, what is that thing that I can change in my diet, what pill I can take, what affirmation can I do, and then everything would be right. So people come seeking answers. Trickier still is that giving answers is often the instinct of a body whisperer. So, as a counselor, as a consultant, as a body whisperer, as a healer, as a practitioner, the first instinct that we fall into that trap is that when they are asked for a solution, an answer, we also get that we get pulled towards that tendency of providing them the answer. But what if you can still ask them questions? What are you aware of? What do you think it is? If this was not an issue, what would actually you would like to create in your life? What are actually you are looking for? So, like, just probe them into seeking that space within themselves. We want to help, and in our efforts to help, we might have a tendency to assess a situation and make decisions with too much haste. So the traditional psychotherapy and all those counseling things are they find the way is to find that problem area, that issue, so that they can label it that this is the problem with them and this is how like to solve it. And we might be drawn towards making that assessing the situation, analyzing it, and finding that problem so that we can fix it then. So please avoid that. For instance, we might get the sense early in a session that our client has an anger issue. And so we set about treating it with whatever techniques we favor and practice. Now, our assessment could be valid, but what if it is not? What if we have made an assumption and presumption? And however educated and rooted in our training and our experience that assumption is, what if there is actually something else going on for that person which is not available to us because we are not being with them from the space which questions allow? So anger is one of the symptoms that is occurring in their universe as they are going through that. It's not, anger is not the issue. Anger may not be the problem. Anger could very well be their hidden potency, their capacities, which they are unable to bring forth. It could be like, it could also be that they have suppressed their emotions or they are not able to express their capacities to the fullest, and that is showing up as anger. And there could be so many different other things that might be going on. But then if we conclude, if we say that, yeah, iske साथ में तो anger की problem है, इसका issue ही anger है, and let's work on anger management, then we have actually solidified that point of view in their universe, and we have probably done them more wrong. We have actually like not been able to shift anything for them. We have left, like we have given them a solidified point of view, which is very, very unkind. And even if we are, okay, so we let that, at best, our technique might bring temporary relief, much like hammering a screw into a piece of wood might work for a short while, even though what the screw needs is a screwdriver, not a hammer. So it could be like that there is a problem with the screw. If the problem is with the screw, it needs a screwdriver, but you could temporarily use a hammer and fix it. But then that only fixes the problem for a short duration of time. That problem would again show up unless you use the right tool to fix it. Something to note here is that in offering our clients answers, we are back in the territory of empathy, sympathy, and devotion that we discussed in chapter 6. Our aim, our gift, is all about offering choice, and answers do not offer choice. Answers give decisions and conclusions. If there is one thing that has trapped more healers than any other, this is it. Giving our clients our interpretation of what is going on with them rather than asking questions. So they come to their own awareness about what is going on with them. So, stop being a doctor or who does a diagnosis and gives them, like they done doing some tests and providing them कि yeah, this discount is bad and you have this virus, or you have this your sugar is high, or your blood pressure is high, or all of that. That is not what we as healers are required to do. Yeah, we have to bring them to their own awareness, not let them with our interpretations of their situations, not imposing our points of views on them. Yeah. Now there is another very, very beautiful angle to it that Dr. Dane has given. When you give answers, and especially if those answers make your client's life greater, you become the source of their greatness. So when you give them the right answers and the right way, ऐसा ऐसा करो तुम्हारी problem solve हो जाएगी, है ना? ये आप ये नुस्खा अपनाओ, you do this and you will be this. What you then, they make you the source of their greatness. They are still not able to see their greatness within themselves. They will see you as insightful and perceptive, and they will come to you for more answers. How empowering is this for your clients? Not very. In fact, not at all. You in that way. And many people do that. They love doing that because then they would come back again and again. They'll come back for more answers, more problems. So you have a recurring revenue stream from your clients. But then, is it truly kind? Is it empowering? And you can, as in an earlier chapter, either you can, if someone is lacking, they do not have food, you can give them, feed them with a fish, or you can teach them how to fish for themselves. And the better way is the second one. When you teach them, When you empower them, you facilitate them so that they can see for themselves, rather they coming back again and again to you for answers. And what if your answers based on your awareness is even just 1% off track? You will burden your client with a lie, and that lie might stay with them for a very long time. When we ask questions, we allow our clients to find their own answers. We give them the gift of their own greater awareness. And this is a gift that truly sets them free. Even better, it lasts for the rest of their lives. Asking questions creates more space, more freedom, more joy, and more chaos. It's how we create more of a healing change, and it's what marks us, you, as a body whisperer. So that is the beauty of being a body whisperer, when you are always asking questions. But then I have found people who just get pissed off with access practitioners. वो लोग कुछ बताते ही नहीं है, बताते तो कुछ नहीं है, कुछ पूछने जाओ तो फिर एक क्वेश्चन पूछ लेते हैं, वो तो मुझसे ही पूछते हैं, बताते ही नहीं है. I'm so fed up with access. Are you? Are some of you fed up with access? I know some of you are. Yeah, because they just keep you, like, they make you still ask yourself questions. And many a times we don't want that. We just want to have answers. Now, something about chaos. So everything that brought up, will you please now destroy and uncreate it all times a quadrillion? And could you please now step into that potency, the possibilities, and the expansion that a question can bring up in your space. Chaos, the catalyst for change, is all about movement, momentum, and flow. And what better way to keep momentum going than to ask questions and be the question? When you step away from providing answers, cures, and solutions, you can practice from a much more open place. Note the difference between, hello, I'm going to assess you to find out what's wrong with you, and then I'll prescribe the reason I think this is happening and also the cure. Versus, hello, I'm here to be the question that allows you to unlock what's really going on for you. It may not be what you are expecting, and it might be unlike anything anybody has ever found before. But I can offer you the tools to unlock that door and create phenomenal healing and change. Which approach allows more and creates more? Obviously, the second one. Does anyone disagree on that? The second one, right? It opens up doors to so many more things, which they might not have even asked for at that moment. Now, how does it look like in practice? In practice, Dr. Dean says, look for the chinks of light that flicks, that whispers, that feather touch changes in energies, just a light blinking, as if that something just came and went off, kind of a thing. Just you have to be willing to perceive that energy when you are asking questions to your clients and when they are flowing in that energy with you. When you are in the question, you perceive energy so quickly and effectively. Your senses are heightened. You are alert in an easy and peaceful way. And from this place, your ability to perceive what's really going on with your client is amplified to a phenomenal level. Here's how it can work. Usually, your client will say something, and you will notice it has a little flash of energy to it, like a little ting or a chink or a ping of energy. However, it shows up for you. It might seem like a bell ringing, saying, hello, it is important. Or it might be more visual, like a flash of light that gets your attention. So, when you are asking questions, be willing to be silent and perceive the energy too. That is a very important part as a healer, as a practitioner. Giving sessions. What you are perceiving is where they are sticking themselves energetically. Listening for the chinks of sound or flashes of light or something else you can't put a label on is how you start to get the awareness of what is solidifying a person's body, brought on by the points of view that they have taken or brought or bought as their own. So this is particularly very beautifully, it shows up when you are working with people's bodies, when they are not even speaking. You are just being present with their body, and you are moving your hands, either touching their bodies or just a little over their bodies. And you just get to perceive that there is something over here which I can move slightly, and then there is something over here, and it you just perceive it in your hands, in your being, in your body. You get to know that there is something over here, there is that flash. Yeah, so you have to be willing to be present with your client and perceive that energy. And this is something which is done at length for 3 days in a 3-day body class, or even if you take small like body process classes with learning a single one or two body processes with a facilitator, there also you get present to that this energy. If you can address and change those solidities, you can bring their body back to the chaos it naturally is and where they can be healthy and happy from. So, in its natural form, in its truest form, our bodies are functioning from total chaos. It's the chaos when we are born, and with from our first cry and that baby being born and growing up, it's chaos. Then we solidify some points of views and we fall into the trap of sickness and pain. So what we are with body work, what and as body whisperers, what we are getting our doing is getting our bad body back to its natural state of chaos. When you function from a place where your only aim is to provide answers, you literally heal by numbers. You take step one, then step two, then three, then four, then you yawn, and you yawn. After a while, you feel like a robot and you get bored with your practice and your clients. Mostly, that boredom and frustration stems from the fact that you are not creating the change you came here to create. So, are you bored? Are you bored with your healing sessions, with your business? Then, if you are, actually, you are somewhere trying to work through order, through some linear sequence which this reality has taught you, and you know that you are capable of bringing about much greater change than what you are currently doing, and therefore you are frustrated with yourself. Yes, Sonu, do you have a question?
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Tasmin. We are meeting for the first time.
Yeah. Hi, Son.
Yeah.
So good to see
Yeah.
you.
Hi. Yeah. So the thing is that I've been doing Access since 5 years.
Hmm.
But when it comes to question, no, still my logical mind comes into place, and I have not built up a muscle so far to ask questions. No judgment, just I'm just telling you the I know, and whenever I have asked, no, Tasneem, things have shifted like this. Whenever, like in case of emergency, or whenever I really ask questions from the space of just asking, no conclusion, just asking.
Okay.
So
So
yeah.
so
So sorry.
can I did everyone hear Sonu?
Yeah.
So like Sonu, like in the first part you said that I'm not built a muscle with asking questions. My logical mind comes into this into just place, and it's not a judgment, right? That was the first part. And then in the second part you said that whenever I have asked questions, it has been an emergency, and that like there has been a phenomenal, I've created magic. So truth, what if you could create that change every time? You don't have to wait for an emergency.
Yes.
And everywhere you are judging yourself for being logically minded. Will you
Yeah.
please not destroy and create at all times a possibility?
Yes.
It's not a wrongness to go into logic. So everywhere you have even bought that point of view that being logical is something like you have done a blunder. Everywhere you are judging yourself for being logical, will you please now destroy and create at all times a conciliant? Right in
Yes. Yes.
important book, all nine shots, voice wax and beyonds. So we do have a logical mind, and the logical mind has its own purpose. Having a logical mind is not a wrongness. That part is also required. It's as much as necessity as our intuitive right mind. Okay, so you don't have to go into the wrongness. अरे फिर मेरा लॉजिकल माइंड आ गया. नहीं, आपने तो कैच कर लिया ना कि यहाँ पे मैं लॉजिकल माइंड से सोच रही हूँ. You are like that is the like you have already got the you already know it. You are already aware, and then you can so that okay, now my logical mind has come into place. What question can I ask over here? And truly, is that change your burning desire? So whenever it is an emergency or a burning desire, something that you want like desperately, ये तो चाहिए ही चाहिए. Desperately भी word गलत है. Like you बहुत शिद्दत से अगर चाहिए है. Like what come what may, I am going to have this. And then as a humanoid, has anything or anyone has been able to stop you? No. Yes.
Only I stop myself.
Yes. So are you willing to stop doing that to yourself? Are you willing to be more kind? And can you stop judging yourself for judging you?
Yes. Thank you for that.
Yeah. So it's okay to be logical. I give you the permission to be logical minded.
With other tools, I'm not logical. I just ask. I mean, all of life, interesting point of view. I'm not logical. I just do it. There's
Hmm.
no, I mean, I just do it. It's just like my
So
body feels nice.
So
Huh?
what does being in question mean to you?
Okay. Yeah, you know what? We are taking the car, no?
Sorry?
तो उसमें GPS बदल जाता है.
Hmm.
The mind, so the we are taking car, no?
Hmm.
Straight. तो उसमें GPS बदल जाता है. When I am asking questions, no? तो वो जो ट्रैक पे चल रही है तो लॉजिकल माइंड से बाहर आ जाता है. Good. Thank you for asking this question.
Yeah. So you just, and like what is, and it is, and what if you are already doing it, Sonu? You have not yet acknowledged.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I'm being questioned. Thank you
Yes,
for
you're
that.
just being a question. That doesn't mean I'm. It doesn't mean that I'm all the time asking questions.
Yeah.
Whenever, like, even if it is like, okay, what all, what और क्या क्या हो सकता है, what other options are available of, or is there,
Mm,
is there any other possibility? Can I
mm,
speak to someone else? Who else can help over here? Where
mm,
else can I find this? Even if you are being in that energy, you are
mm,
actually being in question. So everywhere you have made it literally like कि आपको वो पूरा क्वेश्चन बोल के क्वेश्चन मार्क जब तक नहीं लगाया आप क्वेश्चन में नहीं हो. Yeah, so it's not that in the literal sense. It's the
mm.
energy. Being in question is also an energy. Even without asking a question, you can be in that energy of of a question where you are not coming to a conclusion, where you are not making anything the right answer. हाँ, ये भी एक option है. When someone comes up with a solution, you just say yes. If you say you have a staff or a subordinate or a team member, they come up with a solution. Oh, I found the answer. मेरे को ये, like I used to be an IT person, so my team member would come and they would say that मुझे मिल गया कि how we can solve this issue, or I know how to fix that bug in the software, and or I would tell them that yes, that is one way of doing things. Please keep on looking for more options. What else? If do we have a better way available over there?
Yes.
So
And what you're
that is the
saying,
energy of being in question and always asking for more possibilities to show up. And then they would come up. If I would have said, wow, ho gaya na, right answer, chalo isko implement kar dete hain, ho gaya. And then there is another thing, they would look for a more productive way, more something like that is more easily maintainable, or something else. They would find more, that inquisitive minds would go running. So that is the energy of being in question that does not always require you keeping on asking questions. And what
that you are right.
being
That
that?
because sometimes I'm being hyper also. Just hyper. I don't even say interesting point of view. Just happens.
Yeah, it just happens. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tasneem.
Thank you. Thank you for asking that question. I'm
Mm.
sure many of us are doing it, and then we go as into like we are very good as humanoids to like hammer us, beat ourselves up, thrash us. अभी तक नहीं हुआ, अभी तक ऐसी कैसी हूँ, कुछ होता ही नहीं है मेरा तो, है ना? I'm that like 140 piece that God has made that can never be corrected. So the next topic that Dr. Dane here talks about is creating as you go. So not having any particular outcome or result that you would like to bring out in the world, but just creation, creating and creating. You will have outcomes, you will have breakthroughs, you will have results that will come up, you will find some, you will have awards to your credit, you will have accomplishments, but then that is not the ultimate aim. That is not what you are living for, and that is not what you are working for. It's not for the accomplishments that you go after. They just come, and not even money, that they just come to you as a byproduct, and you keep on creating. What if you could become that energy? So Dr. Dane says that this whole book that he has authored, this was meant to be a video series. When I set out to make video number 1, I knew I had about 8,000 tools that I could share, but who would want to watch 8,000 videos? I did the same thing that I'm talking about right now. I functioned as and from the question as I made the series. I tapped into the energy of everyone who would be watching, and although I knew there were some basic and fundamental tools and insights I wanted to share, I let it flow organically, just loosely based on what I have in my toolbox and what I know. In that way, the video series was crafted as I went along, and it created so much more than if I had written a detailed plan of everything I had to say to make sure my audience got all the answers they were looking for. What and from that, from those things that he did, this book came about. What if you did the same thing within your sessions? So you did not have a particular destination to go to. You were not working to like create one particular change, but you were just willing to take that journey with your client, being with them and changing things for them as and when they show up. Whatever shows up, you are willing to be there, to be with that and shift that. What if each piece of information your clients gave you acted as a new awareness of where you go next? Being in the question is how I operate at every level of my life. Any tool I have created, any change I have ever initiated, any class I have run, series I have made, book I have written has occurred when I have been in the question. Asking questions is the key to creating change because change does not happen from a place of solidity. If this idea of create as you go feels light and exciting to you, you might want to consider how can I be the question more and more in my life? Get the sense of the ease and fluidity and possibility that every moment could present and be. Where could being the question take you? What if being the question allows you to access inconceivable, unimaginable, indescribable experiences and things you can't even picture right now? Isn't that electrifying? And isn't that beautiful? Isn't that exciting? With that, we come to the end of chapter 9 and to the end of today's session as well. Any last questions that you
No,
like?
I have to share something, Tasneem. What
Yes.
you said, no, that I'm not acknowledging was right. When I started all of life, no,
Hmm.
so there was, you know what? My body said, you know what? I love this, what you are chanting, no, all of life. Just
Hmm.
go ahead. I, when I chant all of life, I just do it because I love it. There's no if, but, no result orientation. Kuch nahi. I just do it. And it is so wonderful. I feel so nice after that. So I just, yeah, like what you said is not acknowledging what your logical
You
mind
could
is not
be
there.
using those tools. How does it get any better than this?
Yeah, I
Is
do, I
this
do.
possible? Yeah. So you are already be like using those tools which are questions.
They are, they are.
Yes, yes. And whenever you find yourself that you are like going into reasoning, analytical, analyzing things which is not required, you can just say, just say, what else is possible here that I haven't even considered?
Considered. Yes.
Yeah. What else is possible here? What else is possible now?
Hmm. Thank you.
As simple as that. You don't have to make it hard. Life is simple. Yeah. It's ease, joy, and glory.
Glory.
Yeah. Which city are you from, Sonu?
I'm Mumbai.
Mumbai. Great.
And you are from Indore.
I'm from Indore. Yeah.
And you are Gujarati speaking? No,
Sorry.
because this surname is Bungalow wala, no? So Bori Muslims have this surname.
Yeah.
True, na?
And now I'm an infinite being. I see
No,
myself.
I'm just asking.
Yeah. So
It's
yeah, that is what my name in this lifetime given by parents
yeah,
has.
yeah.
So,
It's
yeah, and like I'm conducting a foundation class in Ahmedabad from 22nd to 25th of April. So,
okay.
like, it's any one of you who is interested, you are most welcome to join us. 3.5 days of phenomenal change with lots of questions, clearings, body processes, fun, and like massive change. So, you are all welcome. You are all invited. Let me know
Thank you.
if you want more details. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll
Thank you
spread the
everyone.
words also. I'll spread the word
Yes.
also.
Yeah, I'll share the
And you
invite of the group.
also, I wanted to ask you, you do little bit in Gujarati also?
I have
It's
done in
possible?
Hindi. I haven't done in Gujarati yet. I have done, but then yes, if there are people, I can speak.
Yeah.
But I have done like 2 3 classes in Ahmedabad. Somehow Ahmedabad receives me very well, and though I don't speak Gujarati, I like with them because I'm not that good with pure Gujarati. But whatever they say in Gujarati, I'm able to understand whole of it.
Yeah.
And they understand Hindi. So the classes have so far gone very well with them.
Yeah.
The
Because
connection,
sometimes local language really works wonder.
yeah, people feel more connected
Yeah.
with the energies. Yeah. So most of my classes are like I speak more of Hindi and English.
Yeah. Sure.
तो हिंदी बहुत रहता है क्योंकि इवन in the central India like
Yeah.
and the surrounding
They speak
people
mostly Hindi.
like to
Yeah.
Hindi. Yeah. So my classes are mostly in Hindi, though everyone likes to use an English manual because if you
Acha.
look at that pure Hindi manual of even access
Haan.
pass, like
Hmm.
it's difficult to understand.
Understand some of the words and all that.
Yeah, we don't speak that kind of Hindi.
Yeah.
इतनी शुद्ध नहीं बोलते ना.
नहीं.
Okay.
थोड़ा इंग्लिश हो तो मजा आता है.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do
Okay.
English.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So
Thank you.
Thank you,
everyone for
Tasneem.
joining in. Good speaking to you all and being in question. Let's all be in question and see
Yeah.
what transformation we can bring about over here. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Good night. Bye bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Have a
Good night,
wonderful
everybody.
weekend. Yes. Bye
See
bye.
you. Bye.
See ya. Bye.